friends and fellow cigar box guitar enthusiasts. Del Puckett, and welcome to part 3 of the Arturo Fuente Forbidden Trilogy. Alright, so I have 3 guitars, 1, 2, 3, in various stages of completion. Now this one here, I just put the strings on and intonated it, tuned it up, plugged it in. So I will give you sound samples in a minute. I actually wanted to point out several things, and while I'm having them in various stages of completion, I can point out different things. So I did come up to a dilemma, a problem that I had to solve, and I will show you that first using one of these guys. So let's go with this one here first. So how am I going to get the hinge back on and then close the top on it? Ain't going to happen, right? It's either one or the other, right? It's either no hinge, or I can put the hinge on and it won't be connected. And so that's what I opted for. So what I opted for was to put the hinge on here. That way when you're looking at it from the top, you can actually see that there's not a gap. If there is no hinge, then you're going to see this gap right here. And, you know, I guess that's okay. Not that big of a deal. But I think having the hinge in and being able to see the hinge is actually going to be better. So what I opted to do, okay, I'll show you on the other one here because I already did it on that one. What I opted for was to put the hinge there, and I only put in a few screws, 1, 2, 3 screws. So it's really not serving any purpose other than to just fill that gap right here when the box is closed. Okay, so you can actually, so you can see it right there. And I made sure that it's not rattling around. It's actually nice and stiff in there, so you don't have to worry about it. And the extra screws that I have are actually going to be perfect for the position markers, as you can see there. So these are the screws that are left over from the hinge. Yeah, because there's no way for me to put the hinge on and close it, because I'm having to put the top straight down in order for me to get the guitar to fit inside the gap right here. So that was a dilemma. A thing to point out that I thought was cool is that, see how this is an arch top? All right, so that means the saddle is going to have to be arched as well. So I don't know if you can see that here in this light, but it is curved. I do have a and it fits on there perfectly. And I fine-tuned that guy and got it exact. And the action is also exactly right too. So, let's see here, what else to point out. The soldering has all been done. Gosh, I'm still confused on how to open these things here. You got to lift up the whole thing, right? So the both pickups, the piezo and the mag pickup, have both been wired to the potentiometer in parallel. And then the output of the potentiometer, of course, is grounded and then sent to the jack. So why is that? Why did you do that, Del? Why did you just hardwire the piezo and the humbucker together? That's a good question. Here's the reason. So I didn't want a bunch of switches up here, right? And it just doesn't make sense to have a bunch of, I try to want to keep things as clean as possible. Plus the top is so thick. Again, you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to keep the amount of drilling on this top to a minimum. So I had to drill out for this guy, to cut this guy out. Just the bevel on the back side. I mean, there was a lot of challenges. This just actually made it a little simpler. And plus, on top of that, aren't we always playing in the middle anyway? Because that's the sweet spot. You know, we go to the PA zone and then we go to the mag pickup, but we always go to that. We always gravitate to that sweet spot, which is both pickups, right? So I just went ahead and opted for both pickups. Plus, there's no sound hole in this thing here. And why isn't there a sound hole in here? Well, again, the top of this thing is so thick. I mean, there's like no way. I mean, that's literally how thick the top of this thing is. And plus, on top of that, there's carpet on the inside, and so you're not going to have any resonance necessarily. I mean, you will pick up string vibrations, and that's why we have a piezo underneath the saddle. But as far as acoustic instruments, this is basically an electric guitar. Okay, shiny electric guitar. Okay, so that's this guy here. And then I think that's it. I got the tuners on here. There are no tuners on this one yet. So that's where I'm at. That's what I'm telling you. These are in various stages of being done. I did do an extra coat of lacquer on here, so I have the neck that's also nice and shiny. Yeah, so we are going to finish this up, and then we will put this thing through the sound sample paces. So I'm tuned up to E, B, E, and I am using the 44, the 34, and the 26. And this is one of the ones that has the just tempered. Very similar. In fact, they're all identical, except for every one of them will have some weird thing that's different about it. It's like this one here, the strap button is just a eyelet with a piece of leather tied off to the top there. Okay. Here's the second one, and it is also tuned E, B, E. So I also wanted to point out, see this little black line here, how it kind of curves in? And this black line here, how it kind of curves in? Well, I did the same thing with the contour of the saddles. So the saddles have these subtle contours on both sides that mimic and match these guys. And last but not least here are these corner screws. So I have the corner screws on all four corners. And these here are the long ones. They are about 1.5 inches long. And that is so that they can actually go through, all the way through, and get into the meat at the bottom, because this is a thick top. Here is the third one, which is actually the first one, but this is the last one I wanted to show you. This is the one that has the mistakes in it. So if you can see this little hole right here, well, notice how this hole resembles that hole. Right, I drilled the jack hole in the wrong spot. Right, so this has got 2 jack holes. And I thought, well, I could fill it in. I could put a screw there. I could put something else there. Put a volume knob there or something. Then I thought I could just leave it alone and let it be a mistake. Right, so that's the first mistake right there. A big old hole drilled in the top right here. The second mistake, remember I told you there was a gap right here? Yeah, I measured once and cut twice, or something to that effect. I'm trying to show you in the light. Yeah, look at that gap right there. Okay, now again, I could go back and put some trim on it. Right there, you can see it really good. I can put some trim on it, or I can just say, hey, you know what? It's part of the character of this guitar. They call me the breeze. I keep blowing down that road. They call me the breeze. I keep blowing down that road. They got me nobody, and I don't carry no loads. There ain't no change in the weather, ain't no change in me. There ain't no change in the weather, there ain't no change in me. And I ain't hiding from nobody, and no one's hiding from me. Do doom do doom do doom do doom do do do. Well, I got that green light, baby. I gotta keep on moving on. Well, I got that green light, baby. I gotta keep on moving on. Might go where? Might go to California. Dude, I ain't going to California, dude. Sorry, dude. Might go down to Georgia. I don't know. The first one here is number 385. The only place I could sign it was on the bottom here, and I figured there's already signatures there, so that's the best place. Moving on to number 386. Try to put your eye out. Ready? not least, and finally, number 387. Guys, that's it for this video. Don't forget there is a link to my Patreon in the upper corner of this video perhaps, and also, but definitely there is a link in the video description below. If you like these videos and if you enjoy them, be sure to subscribe and comment and like and share and all that good stuff. Other than that, guys, I will see you in the next video. Take care, cheers, thanks for watching, and don't forget to stay tuned. Alright, we are on the back roads heading back from church. Just a real quick comment on the last couple of videos, the forbidden. You know, I usually don't do those, you know, dark skull, hell, fire. You know, it says forbidden on it. It just looks like, you know, it's you know, I usually tend toward the what do you call it, the positive, the bright, the happy, the sunshine, you know, the light, right? Instead of focusing on the dark and the forbidden. So that being said, these are some of the back roads. Really pretty. Yeah, so what I'm just trying to say is that, you know, I'm not really into that kind of, you know, stuff. Forbidden. You know, I'm more into the Bible stuff, the good stuff.